making another crab video. Crab or crap? Hello. I don't have any red Play-Doh right now. Maybe I'll buy some. But I have purple. And this is the real Play-Doh. Oh, and it is smooth. Smooth, 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 smoothie. Awesome. And the dog is coming along. And I'm finishing up this painting today. Okay. And I finished up the other one the other day. It's already hanging in my bathroom. And then I'm gonna also finish that fold out box. That is very nice. The book type of painting. I'm gonna finish that as well in the next couple of days. This is really awesome. I'm really excited about my painting hanging on the wall. That's awesome. I have 3 more of those flat boxes which make perfect painting boxes to hang on the wall. Absolutely fantastic. I just love the play of colors and shapes. Just love it. Oh, and I put artwork on my t-shirt as well. This has purple. That's nice. And the eye glows in the dark. That is really awesome. Last night I was cuddling with the papa dog and Paul in bed, in Paul's bed, and we were lounging and talking and cuddling with the papa dog. We don't really cuddle with each other, but we cuddle with papa dog. He is our cuddle baby. And we just talk, and it's nice. And suddenly I see the eye is glowing, and I said, Paul, look, the eye of the blue god glowing in the dark. That was awesome. So I talked to my family today, which was lovely, absolutely lovely, lovely, lovely seeing them. And they told me about the sculpture that I have made many years back. I made that sculpture. When did I make that sculpture? I made the sculpture in made the sculpture in 1996. 1996. Wow, that's a long time ago, man. Yeah, in 1996, I made a very large sculpture at my parents' house. And I have many photos. They took many photos that are lovely. And we took one family friend photo. Everyone, all of us, like 20 people, lined up in front of the sculpture. And I lying down in front of the sculpture like this. And it's a lovely photo, me being really fat and all of this, and in front of the sculpture with a real bad monk haircut. But it's a lovely, lovely photo, and we have these photos forever. It's awesome. And we have the sculpture in photos forever. It will never get lost. But unfortunately, the sculpture is nearing its end now. Because, and it's a sad story, it's 5 foot tall and really, really big, with really huge arms, like this thick arms, and huge fingers on it and stuff, and very colorful. And I wanted to make a replication of the sculpture with my Play-Doh and all of this. I think I'm gonna use, for that, I'm gonna use the Play-Doh that is already starting to get a little bit dry, so because that needs to be processed into something material, something forever. And this one is still very flexible. So, but I'm going to make a replication of the big sculpture, and so that I can show you approximately how it looks like. It's about 5 feet tall and has a circumference of like 5 people or something. It's really big. And I made this out of two very large cardboard boxes. I tied them together with chicken wire. Then I molded it up with all kinds of things, gypsum material, gypsum cloth things put on it, and like the cast material to put a leg in a cast, and then finally ended up with a head, but the head is also square on top of that, but kind of bunched together, kind of short. And then it has these huge round shoulders with huge arms coming out, like tubes, sort of like this. Also with chicken wire and all of this. And then how did I make the fingers? I made the fingers out of paper mache and lots of paper rolled up and bundled up, and then gypsum bandages around it and all of this. And then once it was all plastered up, the outside surface, I started to paint it with indoor decorating acrylic high gloss paint. And I remember a friend of my parents came over and he said, "Be careful about these high gloss acrylic paints. That's not good to breathe them in." And I said, "Yes, I know, but what other choice do I have? I don't have any other choice. So I know this is not ideal, but I don't think oil paints are very good either. So I think that the acrylic paints are actually better for the greener, they're better for the environment. So, and I'm not spray painting with I would never do spray painting like Nikki Desafal did in her large studio in around the world in France and Germany, and then in the end in San Diego. She had this huge studio in San Diego in her house, and she was always working with spray paint, and it caused her to get the C word in the lungs, and it's not good, and I'm sad, very sad for her for that, and so sad, so tragic. A wonderful artist. I wanted to see her. I wanted to visit her. My parents had connections to her. My father knew her ex-boyfriend very well, and he was a gallerist, and so from Germany also. And my parents are very, very strongly tied into the German art scene. And I wanted to visit her. I've been a lifetime fan of her since I was 7 years old, when three of her very large semi-truck size sculptures were brought over on a helicopter, crane helicopter, and put out there by a river. And I was absolutely fascinated with her artwork. I made a painting of one of her sculptures, and I wrote real big letters "friend" underneath, because she's my soul friend. She's also a hugely inspiring person. She's always inspired me very much. already when I was a child. And also Horst Antes inspired me very much, very much. And Arnold Leislam. Those three artists inspired me very, very much. They resonated with me. That just resonated. It's a psychiatrist once in Germany said to me, "Oh," I showed him my artwork. He said, "Oh, that looks familiar. That looks a bit like Arnold Leisler, Horst Antes, and Nikita Safai." I said, "Yeah, those are my inspirers." But it still is stands by itself. They didn't make this. So it was just an energetic friendship, it's very metaphysical, but I still have my own, it's still my own work. So it's just like, you know, I feel them. I don't know if they know me. I think Arnold Leisner knows me. He came over a lot when I was a child. They were hanging out. And then I saw him again when I was an adult, and he said to me, "You have changed a lot. I would have never recognized you anymore. You used to be thin." Oh, wow. Huh. You get flour from me anyway. So, but that's how artists are. They're usually very straightforward. And, of course, yeah, I used to be much thinner. So, and it's okay. It is all okay. It's all perfect. So, yeah, I just love art. I love the art world. I love artists. I love colors. Lots and lots of colors. I love round, bouncy shapes. I love wobble monsters. I love clay. I just crazy about it. And I want to inspire other people to do the same thing. So get into it. Make something. Express yourself. If you feel like you need to show it, if you feel like it's not good enough for you to just make it for yourself, then now we have YouTube. We have that opportunity. That wasn't available during the 80s, so I didn't have that option. So, but you all have that option now, and you can make something, you can film the process of making it, and you can share that art energy and the enthusiasm and the passion and the compassion with the world. And the world is desperately in need of these things, very, very much so. Think about all the kids, all the teenagers, all the little children out there going on the internet, looking at people's videos. Be the inspirer. Don't be the bully, don't be the shamer, don't cause them pain, but be the one who lifts them up and who encourages them to make something, to bring out the inner artist. That's what I want to see in the world. That I find so exciting, and I'm so grateful to all people, kids and adults, who are inspirational for the world. That's what the world needs, love and inspiration. That's a form of activism for the world. And I want to bring the beauty of Jiddu Krishnamurti and Dr. David Boone to you. I want to inspire you to listen to their videos. I listen to them all the time, every day, sometimes deep into the night. I fall asleep to their videos, to their conversations. It's so beautiful, it's so wonderful, it's so timeless. They're there forever, in our living rooms, forever. No one can take that away. That's so beautiful and gorgeous too. reflect and contemplate and ponder over beauty of art and living art, everything that's alive, flowing and growing and breathing. Life is rough, but we can make it better. We can transform our lives. We can as we heal. Art is a huge driving force to healing, emotionally and physically. It's true. That's why they have art therapy, in psychiatric hospitals. Been a patient there myself. It was always nice. I would draw something, and other people would look at it, and I get different reactions. But the art therapist that was there, she was about my age. We were like 25 or something at that time. And she really liked my artwork. She said, "Oh, I didn't know you could make something like this with those crayons." Well, you can make anything with the crayons. Anything. You can make anything with your lives, too. And you will say, "Oh, I didn't know you could make something like this out of your life." Yes, you can. You would be amazed to see what you can make out of your life. Just your life the way it is right now. The way it is, wherever you are, you can make something amazing out of it. All it takes is, do some research. Research things. Don't be lazy. Don't be intellectually lazy. Don't be intellectually dishonest. Don't go into religion. That's not going to save you. That just makes you crazy. That's all it does. So, truth and love, that's your liberating force. And art. This is truth. This is love. This is compassion. It's wonderful. It's just wonderful. Love it. Absolutely gorgeous. Looking forward to sitting in the greenhouse once the floor is completely done. Floor needed to be redone. I'm going to be putting a table in there and a chair. I'm going to be making videos in there and lots of artwork. There's always gonna be, some pain. There's always gonna be some kind of resistance from the outside. There's always gonna be childhood pain coming up. And we're probably never gonna resolve or dissolve all that childhood pain. Most of us are badly traumatized. But, and that's the beauty about it, we can make artwork, we can express ourselves, and we can also cry. It's what Anneliese once went into a prison in Germany, and she talked to the prisoners. She felt sorry for them. I give them a flower. And she talked to them for a long time, and she told me that story. She was already an older lady, and went in there. She felt sorry for them. She knew that they ended up in there because of emotional pain, and she's right. And she said to them, "But you can always cry." And the way she said that was so genuine and so loving and caring. And they started to cry, every one of them. They started to cry very deeply, right there with her, talking to them. And that's beautiful. We all cry, we all can cry. And it's very liberating to do that. Let the ego go and the self-images and your dad's voice that you have that has etched itself into your brain. Scramble that up, let it go. He didn't know better. He was a victim of his dad and his society. You don't have to perpetuate it. You are in charge of your life, or what our mother said to us, or anyone said to us, or whatever. If there's a collective statement that has influenced us, or whatever, if it doesn't serve happiness, let it go. Let it drop. Let it fall away. Let it get recycled into something else, into something amazing. Thinking about how to make that the replication of that big man that my parents have, and that is full of mold, because all of that material that I put in there, it's basically carbon based. And then they had a flood because they're kind of located in a kettle situation, and that's never good to have a property that is sort of sunken into some kind of valleys situation or kettle situation. Even the very nice realtor lady, we were looking at a kettle situation house. The house was amazing, good price too. But even though she would have made a profit and everything by selling it to us, she still was kind enough to tell us that, the house is in a kettle situation. Take that into consideration, and I give her a flower for that. Thank you, love. You are wonderful, awesome. Thank you for reminding Paul that it was not a good idea to get it, because there would be a flood. It will rain heavily, it will flood, the water will be standing this tall inside the house. And they even had to remove boards from the wall and all of this. And that's not going to change. That's not going to get better. It's going to get worse because of global warming. Complete weather catastrophes that are tied in with global warming, and that just get worse and worse and worse. This is a fact. You can be in denial because of your religion, because of the corporate agenda, having their hands and feet in your church, but you can deny all this. But let me assure you, Jesus Christ says, global warming is for real. Jesus Christ would have never been influenced by a corporate agenda on anything. He wanted to empower people. He would embrace solar energy, embrace the sunlight, embrace herbs. He has embalmed people's feet with wonderful herbal and flower solutions, and resins and waxes, and made his own creams. He never shamed anyone. He's rescued a prostitute from the street and brought her into his compound, and embraced her as family, given her foot massages. Mary Magdalene, she became a teacher. She empowered herself. He helped her to empower herself. Amazing things came out of her suddenly. Suddenly you realize you have wisdom inside of you. You didn't even know you had it because you had been bullied and shamed and hurt by society. When the brain, that's what Jiddu Krishnamurti always points out, when the brain is in fear, the brain cannot function. You make wrong choices, you act out of panic, you act out of anger. So you have to first bring the brain back to ground zero. You have to drop that frenzy and the frenzied environment that you are in, the comparison with other people and the pressure that you feel that you think you need to have, the pressure on yourself to become someone, to show off, to be someone, to be respected. That's mistaken as love. It's not love. That's neurosis. Bring your brains back to ground zero, to quietness. Go into quietness, go into nature. The animals don't judge you. They would never shame you. If you sit there peacefully, they will leave you alone. Or they will come up with good intentions and with love. They might be checking out your pockets to see if you got a cookie in there. That's all. Julia Hill, she sat in a redwood tree for 2 years. That was somewhere in the early 2000s. Beautiful. To save the tree and the surrounding environment. Wonderful woman, a photo model, activist. And she said as she was sitting in the tree, very high, she had a plateau in there were squirrels and chipmunks coming in to visit her. And she would feed them nuts and grains, and they were making friends with her, always visiting her. And she could pet them, and they would know that she is safe. She is a good person. She's a loving person. Very nice, very wonderful, wonderful work. Breathing is very important. I'm breathing, and the wind is breathing through the trees. Breathe through your abdomen. Hold your breath for a few seconds and then breathe out. It will make you dizzy a little bit, but it's good. Very nice. That will bring oxygen into the whole body. Tony Robbins and Thich Nhat Hanh emphasize that, the importance of breathing. Meditation and yoga emphasize breathing. It's the most important thing. And then the brain can slowly settle down, calm down, and realize there's no risk, there's no danger, no one is going to bully them, no one is going to expect anything from them. They don't have to perform for anyone to be liked or to be respected. They can just be themselves and sit there in meditation. And that's a wonderful thing. They can be themselves. Most people are not, they do not dare to be themselves. They lost their childhood. They have buried the inner child. They have barricaded the inner child with bars and iron walls. Open that up again. No one's judging you. I'm not judging you. I would never judge anyone. I would never bully anyone. Bring out the inner child, calm the brain down, and then wonders are gonna be happening. Absolute wonders. Trust me, I know, because I experienced it. I'm experiencing this every single day of my life. And when pain comes up, don't run away from it. Confront it, look at it. What does it want to tell you? If it's the pain, something uncomfortable that you have been burying all your whole life, let it speak to you. Listen to it now. What does it want to say? If it says, I'm jealous, acknowledge it. Don't shut it up. I'm jealous, and it's okay. It's okay to be jealous. Okay. Yes, jealousy is pain. Yes, it's neurosis. There's nothing to be ashamed about. Almost all humans have it, but they wouldn't admit it. They're ashamed about it, so they hide it. Jealousy is very real. It causes people to commit suicide. That's how real and how threatening it is. People who run away from it, who shut it up, who shun it, who block it away, but still there, it's still pressing. Still pressing. It's the more you run away from it, the more it pushes against it, against the surface, and wants to be seen and heard. And it can push someone over the edge all the way into insanity and suicide. Don't go that direction. Listen to it now. Sit there in meditation. Don't run away from it. Don't say, oh, someone is going to, this is an important, no, this can wait. Sit in meditation and listen to the jealousy talk to you. Listen to the inner child, what the inner child has to say. I'm jealous of my little brother, or of my little sister, or my big sister, or whoever, or big brother, or cousins, or photo models, or Hollywood stars. Let it speak to you. You know, the Hollywood stars, that's something that happens later in life. That only happens because the pain with the little sister or brother is already there. So trace it back to where it started. It's not Kim Kardashian who you are coveting. It's much, much earlier than that. Much before that. Who is it? Who caused you that? What situation caused you that kind of pain? And was it the brother that caused you pain? No. No. He's just like you. Same as you are. Just wants to live too. Who was it who caused that pain? Was it your mother? And she too doesn't know better. She too is a victim. You see how everything is a chain of victimization. There's no blame involved. No more blame. No more anger. It just is what it is. But you're hurting, and that's very real. And you deserve to be listened to. You deserve to be seen. Every one of you deserves to be seen, and it's so deeply touching to me, that art performance by Marina Abramovic. The art performance called The Artist is Present. Look it up for yourself. I wish someone could have filmed every single encounter, because that went on for, I think, 3 weeks or something, where she sat in a huge gown that was hanging over the ground. Beautiful gowns, beautiful, beautiful dresses. Very beautiful, gorgeous dresses. I wonder who made those dresses. I wonder if she made those dresses. Absolutely amazing. She'd sit on this wooden chair every day for 6 hours or something, for 6 or 8 hours or something. Something no one else could do. Without going to the bathroom, without going anywhere, without eating and without drinking. That's very monkish. That borders the limits of physicalities. And also, the worst part was that when you are sitting like this in a specific position, you start aching. Your whole body starts to ache because your body needs to move in order to reshift its balance and its pressure points and so on. So a meditation like this for 8 hours without moving, without going anywhere, that's very Herculean. So, but she always likes to push her boundaries. That's part of her life. A God-level soul and an amazing, amazing mind. And she was sitting there, and she invited people, one after another, to come and sit in front of her in another wooden chair. First she had a table between the person and her. And she realized that table was actually a hindrance. It was first meant as a security feature, sort of, just in case someone freaks out, just in case an ego can't handle that situation. But it wasn't necessary anymore. After a while, they took the table out. And she just sat in front of someone else in a chair, and they just looked at each other. That was the meditation, that they weren't supposed to say anything, just communicate through eye contact, looking at each other. And it was the most amazing thing to me to see people's reactions to this. She reported that there was one fundamentalist lady who started to insult her. I think they had to kick her out. So fundamentalist lady went in there in order to insult her. So didn't even understand the entire art project. Completely bypassed it. But out of her own pain, you understand? I'm not judging, I'm not blaming, I'm not shaming her. The fundamentalist lady sitting in front of Marina Abramovic is full of pain. And she is using her religion to retract into as a safety, hiding behind it. And so that she never has to confront her inner pain. But the inner pain is still there. It's pushing and it's pushing and it's pushing. And it brings out violence in people. Unless they confront it, unless they sit with it and really look at the pain, at what your minister father has done to you. The raping, the beating, the shaming. Look at it. I know it's painful.